Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Hello guys, this is Nikhil and I'll be here to take some feedbacks on the project we are going on in our research topics. It is the project which we are working on is Discover Seeds of Hope, in short DSOH, and we are working on making it especially for the students. For making it brief, I'll be like to tell you that DSOH is a non-profit students organization which will be working over game-based technology using the virtual reality. So here I'm with Albert, and he is having very vast experience in the field of training. So he'll be sharing his views. As you know, this is a part of feedback program. So he'll be sharing his views and about the project and what the kind of limitations and what advantages we can have. So it would be a very good and interesting communication. So I hope you will get maximum out of it. So first of all, I'd like to introduce about my prototype which we created. It's before starting with this, first I'd like to tell you that this idea, the whole brain behind this Discover Seeds of Hope is by Patricia. She and her daughter, they both are they are the veterans from US Army, and they both are working over this and want to make it a very big campaign. So as you can see, it would be in your mind that what is DSOH. So basically DSOH is an international students organization which will be enabling students to work in using game-based learning. Now we talk about what is game-based learning and why different type of education systems are there. So I can say this, that you know that currently when we see our education systems, it is just more of a textbook type. We are not getting to know more things which are actually required. The students are just mugging up the concepts and just learning the things, but when it comes to practical, there is nothing here. So it becomes very important as far as future is considered that the student should create something innovative and should learn actual things. So this is what our mission is, that we provide students a platform so that they can work in a game-based learning. So it will be student-friendly also, and it will be giving them a chance to develop something new. So that is our motto, that we use the technology as a weapon and create something new. So what do you think? Will it be good for students, this idea?
This will be good because mostly when the education systems are more immersive, the students also will feel to study more or learn more. So it's a good thing.
Okay. So as you can see, first what we'll be doing, we'll be exploring many ways for virtual and augmented reality. I know you will be familiar with virtual and augmented reality, like we'll be dealing with the virtual concepts, all the things, like currently, suppose this is our phone. We can feel that it's there with us. But if I say that this paper, there are some things written on this paper, but I can just read it, I can't feel it. So this is all about reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, that the things which we just have in minds, we can actually develop it. These will be achieved using some technology, like you might have heard about 6th Sense. So 6th Sense will be our backbone for this whole project, and the 3D printers you would be aware about. So these will be our weapons which we'll be using for the whole programs. Let's move further. What is our vision? Our vision is to create opportunities for students who have global access to STEM curriculum and peer-to-peer learning environments through the use of innovative technology in order to design, build, test solutions to the real world problems. For example, like suppose you want to create something, like suppose nowadays various homeworks are given to students, like for painting and for drawing something, sketches like that.
Okay.
But will it not be good that if they are drawing these things in a virtual environment and then printing it? What do you say?
That is fine, but I have a doubt in this part. It's mentioned peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
So what all the peers will be?
Peers, it would be mainly like from students. It will be the collaboration of students, universities, various colleges will be there, and we'll be interacting with each and everyone. Like there are many organizations which want to work in this field. So we'll be talking with them, we'll be collaborating with them, and then we'll be taking them their presence, and then we'll be proceeding forward. So peer to peer, it will be like, let us suppose that we set up a first chapter of DSOH here in the Africa. So the students who are using that first chapter, who are involved in the first chapter, they can be connected with the another chapter which is might be running in US or Australia or any other state country. So it would be a connection. Our mission is encourage students to create innovations in technology in order to think critically, share learning, and explore viable solutions to community-related problems. For example, like nowadays, if we see what is lacking in the education, mostly we see that there is no innovation. Whatever we are learning, suppose I learned something today, that things will be learned by other persons, same things. But nothing new is coming up, and that is because of the lack of innovation. So this innovation can be started from the starting age only. If students are taught in the manner from the starting only, they are being given something which they can use from the starting, it would be very good for them. So that's our mission, that we provide them an environment where they can learn and they enjoy learning. Most important is enjoy learning. So that is our aim. Our goal, build educational, virtual and augmented learning environments that can be shared through a global game-enabled platform. It will be like kind of a, you might have seen Sixth Sense. Are you aware about Sixth Sense? Yeah. So Sixth Sense was started by Mr. Pranav Mistry, who is currently the regional head of Samsung, and he started this work. He started this project on augment this Sixth Sense when he was studying in MIT. So currently, when using his code of Sixth Sense, we will be working on the same concepts. We will be creating a platform which will be a game base. It would be similar like we are creating a game. In that game, students will come, they will design some things. For example, they can design their own systems, they can design their printer or anything which they want. And from that designing, they will share those designs with other fellow members. Might be, suppose it will also involve a lateral thinking. For example, suppose you are here, some people who are here in this particular chapter, they created something new and they invented in their chapter. But the same things can be shared with another community, another chapter which is running into another country, and their chapter can also be shared here. So it will be like the new things which you are creating, the discoveries which you are doing, it will be actually shared all over the globe. It won't be limited to a particular place. So that is our goal, that we create that platform. Now the main question comes, how we do it. These things looks very good from hearing, but the things are practically, how we are practically doing it. So that was the purpose of this feedback. You know that for any project to be successful, we need a good base. And a good base can be created when we know all the positive and negatives about the project. So this will help us in that part. Now how we will be doing? We will be working with the business and technology manufacturer to design, develop a game-based virtual environment. We know that our main, if we look at the overall project, the main part comes that virtual environment. Without that virtual environment, there is no students involvement and anything. So that virtual environment, who will be providing those virtual environment? That will be provided by the manufacturers. So first of all, we will be contacting some manufacturers who are working for this. For example, there is CNET and there is another dongle producing in India, which are producing the very high-speed dongles and providing it in very cheap cost to the villages. They have used various different technologies there and are using those things for charity purpose. So we will be using those things, those kind of things for our project, so that it will be economical, plus it would be easy also. Because for using this game-based strategy for connectivity, we need internet. And for internet, you know that it will be very costly purpose if we are connecting a remote areas. So for that, we are trying to contact some manufacturers, and we also were successful in contacting 2 to 3 manufacturers of dongle productions in India and also some other countries. And we are getting good response from them, and we are hopeful that they will be able to provide our requirements.
So your focus is on remote areas, like main focus where you are planning for?
Main focus is not regarding the remote areas. Main focus is in this, we need to get involvement with the students. But
I'm asking like means developed areas.
Yes.
Mostly they will be having different universities and all, like I'm not talking about Rural. Other than that, they will be having all the facilities for the studies and all those things. So like how you are planning to establish, like okay, when you go for villages or remote areas, there will be lacking of the facilities.
Yes.
So basically, where that is the area where you can
Yeah.
get more opportunities. So like
That's
how
a
you
good point from you. So that's what we have planned here. What we have planned actually, we have planned to build this virtual platform on a movable truck. Like we can put this virtual platform on a movable truck or any particular transportation system which can reach to the remote areas.
Okay.
Like suppose we are running a lab here in the city, but to connect to the remote areas we can't contain the lab there. So what we are planning, when we are building that virtual reality lab, the 3D printers and whatever equipments we are having, we will be putting those things on a movable platform. It could be a truck, a bus, a kind of platform which we can take it to the remote locations and then can get involved with the students. So in that way, the remote area students can also get part of that campaign.
Okay. So if you are putting in a remote, like movable truck or something,
Yes.
like one thing, it will be limited.
Yes.
It will be limited, and another thing will be okay. Regarding the connection to the remote area, it is fine. Other than that, how it will be, like the truck should be stayed there for so long, or how you are like.
What according
there will
to
be a
our,
duration for
yeah,
the-
of course it will be a duration. So it would be scheduled according to chapters. Like the more number of chapters into that area, accordingly we will be scheduling. It will be decided according to the particular trainer. Like suppose whoever, we can't just give that particular platform to the remote location. There should be a particular trainer who will need to teach, who needs to guide the students of using that things. So according to the schedule of the trainers, according to the chapters in that particular area, we will be creating a schedule, a daily schedule or a weekly schedule depending on the number of students we are having, and accordingly we will be managing that particular movement or anyone.
Okay. So this is introduction to a education system.
Yeah.
Right. So the education system in the sense like the education itself, you know, it's just not a matter of 1 month or just 1 year.
Yes.
So like how you have planned for that?
That's true, very true. What we are planning is currently that we are first planning, our first aim is to start the first chapter of DSOH and see what actually results we are getting.
Okay, so like who means your focus, okay, remote area I accepted.
Yes.
And might be a age group or something will be there,
Yes.
focus.
Of course.
So who will be
Our age group is mainly the students, like the college grads. It could be high school students, those who wants to do something with the technology. Those are our focus, so that they understand the concepts also.
so
Because
this is not for the basic learning.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a little bit
yeah,
after the basic.
after the basic, because for using these things you need to be like enough knowledgeable that you need to understand how these things are working, or else it would be seen like mugging up the concept. So we need to be at a particular age where we can understand the concepts behind what we are doing.
Okay.
So the age group which we are looking for would be like the particular age when they starts knowing what all these things are, so that they can develop from there.
Okay. So another thing is like as you are building up this thing, is it fully of charity or is it?
It is, first thing, it's non-profit organization, so it won't be asking anything. There won't be anything regarding the particular money or something like that. The main purpose why we are putting it as non-profit is for reducing the taxes, because you know that we will be opening various chapters throughout the globe. So the opening of the chapters, and it will be a very we can say that it would be a very costly affair also. So to manage all those things, we have categorized it as a non-profit. But if according to the facts, if I say you, this non-profit is not limited to just charity or non-profit. The non-profit has also become a very good market currently. So we can, like, with the help of manufacturers, students and business market in the local area, we can make a good profit from it, so that we can help the students and we can help DSOH to make more chapters in another countries.
No, it was a just doubt like how mostly when you go for the remote areas,
Yes.
those areas people won't be able to afford
pay.
the.
Yeah, true,
so,
true.
like,
So that will be like we'll be managing, like if we are getting the fundraising, like we'll be contacting some fundraisers, if we'll be organizing some fundraising events, and we'll be contacting some promoters, investors. Once we are getting the enough funds, we'll be asking students to be a part. And when they are there, when they are creating something, suppose they created a new product, then we can use that new product for putting it in the market, selling it. Might be some particular organization, local market would require it, so they can take those students, and can take financial benefits also. So in that case, it would be benefit for them also and us also.
okay. So other than the facility, there is encouragement for the students also.
Yes, of course. It's just from ideas, as we already discussed. It's the Mr. Pranav Mistry who started this idea of Sixth Sense. As you can see here, we are having a mirror, a camera, and these are some colored pins which will be used as a sensor.
Okay.
Like everything we can just see in front of our eyes, everything.
Okay.
This is a very good technology which is being currently developed, and we'll be focusing, our area of focus will be on this technology. First, the main motives why we are doing it is, first we are finding it for the innovations, so that we can innovate something in the technology. We will be providing services, like as we came through that point, that suppose a student created something new from our lab. So what we can do, we can use that product as providing a service to a particular manufacturer. So in that case, it will be a profit for both of them. They will be self-dependent. So that also is our aim, that we will be providing a service-based learning. We will be training them, and then once they are capable enough to do on their own, they can use that particular talent for their earnings also.
So like another one.
Yes.
Obviously, when you go for like into complete flow,
Yes.
how you will be connected with the people? Is it like through only colleges and universities, or?
No, first thing, like for connecting with the students, we need a good marketing idea. Like for example, we need a good promotion, so that everybody must be aware of our programs.
Okay, so no, it's like another NGOs or industry people.
Yeah,
also
we'll be targeting the local communities. Like suppose we are contacting, suppose it's a very big country, so it's not possible that we alone can be there. So we'll be contacting the local communities in those areas, so that they can help us understand that particular place better, and can help us in the collaboration. So it would be a mixed up kind of thing.
Okay, so there can be a collaborated from
Yeah, sure.
your.
Of course. Social outreach is our main, as we discussed, like the pupils who are here in this one continent can discuss their ideas in another continents also. That is also a good thing. An annual competition, we'll be organizing some annual competition, so to see what actually we achieved in a particular span of a year.
Okay.
Then for channels of growth, what would be the channels of growth? Technology will be improved by students, and new technology developed that will access to education through a game-enabled education program. It means like when students are coming as a part of this lab, they will be learning something, and they will be creating something new also. So it is like you are using a technology to create another new technology.
Okay.
So that is all our way, that how we can do. There will be various programs like this. We will be designing, developing and deploying various game-based learning environments for the companies, local companies we can provide. Plus we can explore the relationships between social networks, new media. We can use that particular medias of local media, newspapers, for promoting what we are doing, for getting more involvement from the students. These things. And we can create new opportunities for developing entrepreneurial enterprises. For example, like suppose a student is there who created a particular new product, so he can take that product as a preliminary idea and can become a successful entrepreneur. So that is, opportunities will also be provided to the students in this.
So like okay, let me ask you one more thing. Like, many will be having innovative ideas in their mind.
Yes.
Mostly the thing is like they are failing to execute it, or like go for further on that part. So like for them, how it will be approachable for, means to you, like how they can approach you. because like they will be requiring help on those parts.
Of course.
So like if they can approach you, might be a help for them also, right?
The best way to approach us, like as we discussed, that we will be promoting our campaign through social networks, local medias and all. And also we already have a website designed for this particular initiative. And plus in future we are expecting to grow more, like on social medias. We have a Twitter page, Facebook page.
No, that's okay. From a region itself, you will be getting lot of things.
Yes.
It's not like countable by.
Of course.
It will be a big, a large number of people will be approaching.
Yes.
So from them, how you are going to?
The main area means like our target will be like how first we'll be judging the particular person's students, like what is their background, means how much they can expect, their creativity, lateral thinking, that how much they creative they are, because ultimately our aim is to develop something new, something innovative. So if we are finding the students who are capable and who actually require like they should be a part of this campaign and can create something new, then of course we will take them. In case we are finding this situation that there are so many persons who wants to be a part of this campaign, then it will be some kind of screening could be there. But our hopes are that we try to take as many as possible.
Okay. And one more thing, like we should see different categories. Many will be like facing difficulties in the sense like financially they won't be able to do the things, so it will be helpful. So another kind of people, it will be like it's not because of the financial things, it's because of the support.
Okay.
So if they wanted to start a business itself,
Okay.
so for them, I think you should be having a different approach, right?
For those students like who wants to start their own business, for them what we can do is, like when we are approaching to the local communities, we will be studying the local markets, like what are their requirements and what is currently going on there. So the products which we will be working, or we will tell students to work on those projects which will be useful for their local community, so that once they are finishing their product, they can launch their product and start their own business.
So it's completely of the.
Of course. Then we are just providing hope for support. The support will be there. These will be various services, like we can test, evaluate the games and various technology which we are using for the education. Also we are planning for expansion. We are planning to work with the colleges, schools and various universities in the local areas, so that we can get the enough resources also and the students' participations also.
Okay.
Apart from that, we are planning for, as we discussed, the new careers in the business growth with the students. That is also a good opportunity for the students. For social outreach, students will be working on teams and can connect with the remote communities of students. Like we discussed, that suppose there is a chapter going on in this Africa, so they will be working in the teams together here, and also they can connect with the other chapter which is running in some other place. So it would be a global outreach. They can connect with anywhere and share their ideas. Like students can input their data into the game platform and work into several problems. So it will be easier for them to solve, and it will be interesting too. DS chapters will not extend the knowledge and learning by putting their labs on a mobile platform, as we discussed, that it will be placed on mobile platforms so that we can share it and learn throughout their community. We will also, for like as the point came, that for using the fund, for having funds, what we are planning, we can rent our labs also to the pupils who are needed, so that those who are needed, they can rent that particular for a timing, and we can have a good amount for that also. So that can also be a good option for us. Apart from that, whole things has been already created in the MIT lab, but we need to work it from the scratch, because we need manufacturers who can develop that particular environment. So the 6 Sense code which is there, which was developed, it is free of course, open source, so that is already available with us. But now we will be looking for the manufacturers who can actually start developing it. Entrepreneurs, we already discussed, this will be helping students for moving more into the entrepreneurship part. Value proposition, coming to the value proposition, it's a very important part of any project, that what is the market. now talking about the market, present market, if I tell you about the stats, currently the technical education market is 51 billion by 2016. According to the recent states, we are expecting it 51 billion. And when we talk about if I want to relate this with my idea, then it is, if I talk about the game in education, it is expected to be 2.3 billion in 2017. So as you can see from the facts, it's a very big market. So the capital value proposition which we proposed, it is very huge. But the thing is, we need to be very much cautious of these things. Key benefits will be, first thing, they will be learning something new. As we are in 21st century, we need innovation. And for innovation, they need some new ways of teaching. If you are continuing with the old ways of education which is going on, it won't be possible that we are completing the things. So it's very much essential that we need to have a particular good platform so that the students can develop something. So that will be our benefits. This is the why, like a particular students or any organization should of course consider DSOH. Annual competition, as we discussed, chapters completed in DSOH annual competition to see who is able to advance the technology for the best effect and greatest social outreach. For example, if a particular, suppose there are 16 chapters going in different parts of the world. So from each chapter we can compare annually which is the best idea, which is the best innovation created from among 16. It will help to develop a competitive feeling and we will be able to get something new every year. That is the annual competition which we will be organizing. Talking about the future, as we expect, in future we will be able to develop some brick mortgage houses, like a particular complete static houses of virtual reality. Like currently we are planning to move it through movable platform to the remote areas. But in future we are hoping that we will be able to build some kind of houses or some kind of offices of DSOH in the areas everywhere and can facilitate students for this area. So this is all way you can study more about DSOH on this link, and if there is any queries you can also email us on these links. So how do you think about this?
Regarding this, it's actually it is a good thing to work on. There will be lot of hard work of lot of people will be required after services. And another thing regarding building of the chapters.
Yes.
So regarding the building of the chapters, initially you will be having your own team,
of course,
but later on it can be allowed, means you can include more people, right? Might be there will be a lot of people from universities, or even the experienced people, retired people, so they will be able to share their experiences and it will be very helpful for you. I'm just asking initially also how you are going to start this group, because that will be the basic thing for the learning purpose.
Of course. First thing what we are planning is as this project will be completed right now, the research and all those studies will be completing. So once we are completing this, we will be contacting the manufacturers, because we can't start involvement of the students without having the base. So for base, we will be contacting the manufacturers, we will be talking with the manufacturers and we will be arranging for setting up that virtual platform. Once we are settled, we are having those virtual platforms, that particular resources to start a chapter. We will be starting our first chapter with the students and we'll be trying to publicize it as much as can.
Okay.
That will be our starting. Currently our thing is we need to gather most of the information, most of the feedbacks from the particular, you are into the training field, you will be knowing much more about these things, how it is going on and what students actually expects during the training. So these things will really help us to these are not the final things, we can still make the modification because it is still at the base. So that's the whole motive why we are doing it.
Even the basics regarding of the gaming, mostly the youngsters they like games.
Yeah.
So obviously that will be a good base and it will be interesting. Main thing is interest is the main thing. If somebody is interested, then they will come up with their own good ideas. So anyway, it's I'm glad to see you on this project, and nice time talking to you. Anyway, best wishes for your future.
Thank you so much. Hello guys. So as the part of this interview, feedback interviews, now I'm accompanied with Mr. Akash. He is again a very vast. He also holds a very vast experience in the field of technical training, and it will be a pleasure that he'll be sharing his feedback and views on our project. So firstly, I would like to introduce what this project is all about. You know that currently, if you are talking about the education industries currently, it's more about the concepts like just reading on the textbook. There is nothing innovative coming up, right? Exactly. So what we are planning here in this idea, the whole idea behind this is like we want to create a game-based learning environment. For example, if you would have seen right now in many movies, we are using artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence is used, and now as we are moving in more into the 21st century, virtual reality is taking its roots. So it is our idea that we are thinking to create a game-based environment in which students can learn and innovate. This is the main motive what this is all about. So I will be just sharing you the whole prototype which we have drive the whole this project, so that you can share your views, your opinions, some like challenges which we can face during this whole project. Because as our aim is global, we need to be 100% sure that we don't face any issues in future. So it would be glad for us if you can share your views. Firstly, let's start with what is DSOH. So when we talk about what is DSOH, it's simple, Discover Seeds of Hope. It's just a short form of that, which is an international students organization. It is the main idea, the main brains behind this is by two veterans, one mother and daughter. Miss Patricia, she is unfortunately not with us, but of course I know that she'll be happy, more than happy to see this interview. And you can also interact with her tomorrow. We have scheduled a lab session. It's online, you can say a live chat show, where we have scheduled it so that all the people can interact and share their views. Okay. So I hope you can join there and we can have a chat there, more discussions there. So let's coming back to this, what is DSOH? DSOH, as we said, that it's an international non-profit student organization. When we say student, we are targeting the students because students are the base of our community. If you look anywhere, who is actually developing? Like students are the next generation engineers, right? They are developing the new things. So if we are focusing on the students from the starting onwards, it will be easier for every community to come up with something new. So that is our aim, that we actually complement, we actually encourage the students to participate more into this technical learning so that they can come up with something new. So let's move forward. What we will be doing? What is our idea is, we intend to create some game-based learning environment. Now, game-based learning environment, it would be like you might have seen some PlayStations you were using, PS4s and Xbox. So those PlayStations which we are using, these are like you feel something interesting when you play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the same thing. When we are linking the education with a game, it becomes interesting and most interesting for the students. So in that way they can come up with something new. Like for example, I'm pretty much sure that when you would be playing certain games, might be somebody taught you to play certain game in starting. But after having a good practice over that game, you might have come up with some new techniques of your own. For example, if you played some games like something like Counter-Strike or something, there you might be first going through somebody's plans, but after some times you develop your own strategies, you come up with your own plans to deal and might be made it more interesting, right? Yeah. So this is the same thing, like if students are given a right direction, they are treated well, they are shown a good path, they can come up with something very good. So that's what we will be doing. We will be creating a peer-to-peer STEM education, and it will be a shared form of learning. Like there will be various chapters in various parts of the world. every chapter will be working over this augmented and virtual reality, and the students, the members who are part of that particular chapter will be creating something new from those technology. And those not would be limited to that chapter, but it could be shared with other chapters also. So it would be a opportunity to connect with the other pupils also. For example, a particular students who are working in a remote locations in Africa, who are part of DSOH program, they invented something or they felt any doubt in something, can interact with someone who is sitting, who are being the part of DSOH chapter in US or America, anywhere. So it will be providing a global social outreach opportunity to the students to share their views, opinions and everything. What do you feel about that?
What I want to ask, how is it different from the smart classes and this virtual reality?
Of course, this is not different from this is none different than that, but it is an advanced version of those. Virtual reality is the big backbone of our project. But without virtual reality, we are not expecting something to be done. It is the same thing like virtual reality, but here we are making it more advanced. It is not limited to the use of technology, but we are focusing over the creation of new technology. From virtual reality right now we can see that just students or particular colleges, universities are just using those equipments. But we are not seeing something useful to be created from those technology. Right? So this platform will provide an opportunity to create something new also. It will, yes.
So different like students from different countries, from different languages will be interacting with each other.
Yes.
But there will be a language problem, won't be there.
Language
How will
problem.
you handle that thing? And
Mostly the remote locations and language communication problems, I don't think so. Like as now that it's a global world, most of the things are being taught. Like and you know that there is no language for education. We can, if a particular person is interested in learning, he can learn from just by visualizing it only. So we'll be hoping, like according to the chapters, it's a good point that languages can be a challenging part for this project. So what we can make sure is, like for each chapters across different countries or different regions, the particular trainer or instructor would be there in each chapters. So we'll make sure that that particular instructor trainer is helping to communicate in a other particular chapters also. So that will be a good point, and thanks for sharing this point. It will be helpful for us
so
also.
who all will be your potential customers in let's say like in India, if you talk about?
Yes.
There are like students who live below poverty line, and
Yes.
when they are going to the schools. Okay.
Yes.
So how will you be targeting them? How will you be getting introduced them into your project?
Okay, so very good point. What we have thought about this is like talking about India or any particular countries which are there. Firstly, we are targeting the students or colleges or universities which are into that particular area. Now, as a part of this campaign, it won't be possible that we just go to that particular area and get involved, because we are not aware about the situations there, prevailing situations, what is the political environment, how to do the things. So we will be taking the help from the local communities into these areas.
Like the NGOs.
Like the NGOs, or it could be local bodies, government bodies which are working, whoever is ready to help us. Once we are getting their help, we will get to know the market, we will get to know what actually is happening in that particular area and how we can proceed. After knowing all those points, we will be starting targeting the students. Now students, you raised a very good point that what about the students which can't afford this technology. So for them, what we can do is, like we will be planning, we will be organizing many fundraising events. We will be doing we will be talking with various investors who are ready to invest into this field for future purposes, and we will be trying to take the students participating, because those students can also innovate. And what is our aim is, it's not limited to just education. It is educating and then making them self-dependent. It's an entrepreneurship part for the students. Now you will be having a doubt that how that can be possible. So let me explain it, like how this can be possible. Suppose a student get involved into a DSOH chapter. He, after learning for a 2 months or 3 month duration, created something new, a new product he designed by himself. So what he can do is, he can use that particular product to sell into the local market and can stand by there as a individual distributor. So it will be providing him an opportunity to learn and earn.
Will that become the product of your DHOS?
DSOH product, we actually it is the choice of the students. Of course, we are providing him a base.
There will be no foundation.
There won't be any foundation.
Kind of bond.
No,
Okay,
no.
if you have invented this thing, it belongs to us.
No. That won't. These things will be not. This won't be there because, as you can see, the aim of R is very noble. We are planning to is actually help students to develop something.
Yeah,
So
bring
once
innovation.
they are making some innovations, it's actually our success.
So how does your this virtual reality works, like
course.
things inside it?
The virtual reality, everything is dependent on us code 6 Sense. I think might be you know about 6 Sense.
I heard about that.
Yeah. 6 Sense, which is developed by Mr. Pranav Mistry, who is currently the vice president of Samsung.
Yes.
So he developed this 6 Sense code while he was the graduate in MIT. He was undergoing the project. And if I talk about 6 Sense, currently it is a very promising field right now. In virtual reality, augmented reality, whichever field you are talking about, 6 Sense will be the next big thing which is coming up. So 6 Sense will be used for developing these virtual environments. Like you might have seen 3D printers which will be used for the students.
Yes.
And you might have seen how students get excited once they see an output from the 3D printer. Right. So this will be our base. We'll be using these 3D printers, 6 Sense code, this particular, and using all these technology, we will be developing an environment that we call as game-based environment, game-based learning environment. So it will be very, very interesting for the student. They will feel yes, they need to be a part. So once they are involved in that, they will be. We are 100% sure that with the proper direction, with the proper participation, they will be able to design something new. And the products, it is not limited to the particular things which we are teaching them. It can be anything. Like suppose you are there in a particular city, which in a particular area, where you think that you can create a new kind of product, like say suppose a keychain. So you can use your innovation, you can use the resources which we are providing to develop another product, a particular innovative product from the keychain only, and then you can use that product to sell in your local market. So that will be like, it won't be an out of reach also, it will be inside your reach and you can expand also because it is in your region. So it would be a very good platform. What we are expecting from that is.
So you will be requiring to relocate a lot of trainers around the globe, and will have to expand your this DSOH to different parts of the world. So how are you planning to do that particular thing?
Mostly, like currently we are, as you can see that currently this is just we are researching over this project, because for success of any project we need a good base. And a good base can be created once we are thorough with all the advantages and the difficulties, challenges which we can face during the project. So it's just a part of our research. First we are making sure that all challenges we can face, so that we can make the changes in our plans. Once we are done with that, what we are expecting is, we are expecting to start the first DSOH chapter, and we will see the outcomes from that DSOH chapter. We will see what response we are getting, what challenges we are getting from that, and further after the success of that particular chapter, we will be planning to make it to different particular ones. Our vision, as you can see, that it will provide an opportunity for students to have a global access to the STEM curriculum and peer-to-peer learning environments through the use of innovative technology in order to design, build and test solutions to the real world problems. They can use that environment, they can learn it from it, they can deploy, they can test from it. It will be many things they can do from that particular platform. It won't be limited to just learning. That's our vision. Our mission is mainly for the encouragement of students. As much as we can encourage students we can motivate them to come up with something new, innovative. It would be better for them also and for us also. Because in the last, if somebody is coming with something new, something innovative, it won't be only helping that particular student, it will be helping us also. Because we would also be a consumer for that particular product. So it will be a good part for us if we can provide them that particular environment, that particular resources. Our goal is to build a virtual and augmented learning environment that can be shared through a global claim-enabled platform. Now, this is a very challenging task for us because, as you can see, these are very high technology things which we have to use. So, for that, we need a good manufacturer. We need a manufacturer who can provide us the internet connectivity, because connectivity is a very important thing in this whole DSH vision. So for this connectivity, we have contacted certain providers, the manufacturers from India and other countries who are actually working over the providing the economical connectivity to the remote areas. And it is our good luck that we are able to get positive response from them, and they are ready to help us into our endeavor. So as far as connectivity is considered, there won't be much issues. But now, right now, our main target is to build that particular virtual environment. Because unless and until we are not coming up with a virtual environment, it is not possible to come with the students or start a DSH.
Exactly.
So that is our goal where we are looking for. Now the things come how we do it. So how we do it, it comes with the manufacturer's part. First, when we see the whole criteria, it requires two important things. One is students who will be using the things, and one is the resources with which students can do the things. So until we are not having resources, we can't encourage students to participate. So first, what we are facing the challenge is to go to the manufacturers to convince them to make what we are expecting, because it's a very challenging task to come up with something which is very expecting. But it's I like to tell you that the whole idea of DSOH which we are trying, we have found that recently that in California there is a school which is working on the same idea, and there are many students who are using actually this technology. So it's a very good point for us, because now we can actually visit there, we can see what all things they are using, what are all challenges they face, what are their manufacturers, the main thing. And we can plan with that from our sense.
Yes.
Next, this you know him, there is Pranav Mistry who developed this 6 Sense technology. As you can see, there is a mirror, projector is there, and a camera is there. This is all we have. What we can do with this, we can make anything into the virtual environment. Like, you don't need your cell phone, you don't need anything. Everything will be done from this. These color tapes which you can see, these are the sensors which are used for marking, colored marks. So this technology we are working on, this is the open source code which is provided, and we have downloaded this code also. And we are also expecting that Mr. Pranav Mistry also can help us in this project, because as you can see, it's having a global outreach. So it would be, if we are talking about the mentors of this particular project, it would be none better than Mr. Pranav.
Yeah, it will be very
So there are so many people we are in contact and regular communication, and we are trying to ask their regular services, and fortunately we are getting good feedback. So hopefully in very short span of time we will be able to make something good in this field. Let's talking of, yes.
Yeah, it's a great idea, I guess, because what I like about this particular idea, what I'm seeing, because I have been training for a very long time, so I know there is a thing which is lacking in the students, which is innovation.
Yes.
They are not interested in to learn the programming languages and for the things like this. So if anyhow for example, let's take my example, like when I was in college, there was a subject microprocessor, and I took it lightly because I wasn't interested in that subject. But when I came into this field of cybersecurity and all, and I came to know about the importance of this particular subject, then I studied it, then I learned it. But it also realized me, why didn't I study? What was the problem? So the problem was the way teacher was actually teaching us. It wasn't that much appealing or interesting, so that I could get inroads or I get some interest in that. So I guess by this innovation, this virtual reality, by playing with the things, and it will make students much more interested in the subjects which are not even interesting also.
Yeah, of course.
It will make them interesting in those subjects, and they will learn more properly rather than the books and the texts.
That's actually what we are hoping for, and we believe that we will be able to achieve these things. Talking about the works which DSH will be doing, first thing, it will be, the main motive is innovations in the technology. It is just not limited to the education. Use of virtual reality is not just for the education purpose but for the students to develop something new. So it will be using a new technology for developing something new. So that is our main motive, that we innovate something new. Next, what we want is service-based learning. Service-based learning will provide the students an opportunity to grow. For example, like in a local market, suppose there is a need of notebooks or some kind of things. So if from our particular DSO chapter a student can produce a product which can fulfill the local requirements, then it will give him a particular opportunity to provide a service and earn for that service also. So that is another good features which a student can get from here. Social outreach, as you can see that once different chapters are there of DSOH, it will be easier to share the views all over the globe. So that will another opportunity. And another interesting thing which will be organized is DSOH annual competition, which will be actually guiding, like, and you see that every different countries there will be different DSOH chapters will be going on. So we'll be organizing an annual competition where we'll be checking what all new technologies have been developed by the students, and then according to those new technology we'll be organizing a competition to judge which was the best. So it will be creating a competitive feeling to.
And there are any further plans to, like, for example, the best innovative idea chosen by someone to fund that particular idea?
Of course,
and like kind of
no, that's a very
incubation
good
sell out kind of for the students.
No, that's a very good point, very good suggestion from your side. That we'll be discussing on that part also. Like if we are getting some new innovative ideas, we will try to encourage our particular students and we'll try to provide whatever best we can with that particular part. That will be good for us also. Channels for growth, as you can see, the main channels for our growth is the technology and the students. Until we are not having the particular participants for this product, there won't be any growth. So mainly channels will be like students, colleges, universities, local bodies which are there. These will be our channels of growth. More we are making them participate in our campaign, more we will be growing, they will be growing. So that is
how will you be emphasizing on those students who are like living below poverty line, who were never introduced to any college or any school, because their standards are not up to the standards of the students which are going into the school or into the colleges. So what are plans you have for those students? For example, there must be some preliminary requisites for those students which you will take and which you will nourish them, which you will introduce different ideas as virtual reality. But the students which you will be taking from those parts, from those places, how will you be like training them? First of all, there must be a basic plan for those students.
very true, very true. What we have planned is like for dealing out, like you can see that it's a very innovative thing. It's a very advanced technology. It's not just a normal technology which we are using in day-to-day life. So first thing, we can't give this technology to someone who is new to this particular field. So we are expecting that we will be providing a particular trainers. There will be trainers and instructors who will be providing a full training to the participants how to use them. What would be the advantage of them? What they can do from them? What they can build from them? All these things would be done by those trainers. They will be instructing them, giving them a good training, and then it would be started. Because anything which is new we can't directly give it. Because as you can see, it will be very costly also. So we need to see all the aspects of this projects. So coming to the services what we are expecting is we will be working with the colleges and the schools and the local communities. Plus we can also deal with the local businessmen. Like there will be local businessmen and local suppliers which are there. So we can have a collaboration with them in order to help the students, like whatever products they design, they can sell into the market directly. So that will help DSOH also to get established and also students to launch and create new products. So that is our idea. Apart from that, what we thought is like we can, the labs which we created, like virtual labs which we are creating, that virtual labs we can rent also. For the time it is not used for the students or DSOH chapters, we can give it for the rent, so that it will be additional income for the particular DSOH chapter. So that will provide additional resources can be increased and all those things. social outreach, as you can see that a particular chapter which is running here in Africa can also interact with another parts of the world and can share their views. If there is any doubts which they are facing, everything can be shared at the same time. And as both are working on the same platform, it would be very easy for them to learn from each other and develop something. So that is the main motive, that it will be promoting a very good social outreach. And also the data, the particular things which suppose there is an idea on which particular peoples are working in another country. Some students of DSO chapters are working on an idea in another country and they are not able to implement it. So in that case, what they can do, they can share the idea with another students of DSOH particular chapters, and they can try to implement it. If they are successful, it will be giving both the students an opportunity to grow. So that will be a very good opportunity for them. As you can see that this particular lab which we are planning, the virtual reality lab on the game-based learning, it is already developed in MIT. There is a fabrication lab which is already developed and where all these testings are going on. And as I already told you that we recently discovered an institute which is actually working on the whole idea. So now it has become very easy for us to actually see, to actually experience how we are imagining it. What we have imagined, we can now see what is actually happening, and we can help and innovate in this idea also. So this is what we will be doing. As talking about entrepreneurs, it will be providing a huge opportunity for the entrepreneurs, for developing the new entrepreneurs. Like students, if they use that particular resources very well, they can come up with a very nice product.
Yeah.
Once they come up with a nice product, they can be a very successful entrepreneur. Because it's all about ideas, it's all about a product. And once they are having that particular, when we are providing them the particular facilities, we are providing them the resources which they require, they just need to think. And once they have that innovation, they can come up with a very good idea, a very good product, they can be a very successful entrepreneur. So that is another good feature which we are planning for entrepreneurs. Another things come to the value proposition. Like you might have seen that whichever thing we are starting, whichever market we are starting, we need to see what is the market value of that thing, product is there. So talking about the market value, it is very, I can say it is very motivating to hear. You will be excited to hear the facts that this technical education sector, it is expected to be 51 billion by 2016. And talking about our aim is basically more into the game-based learning in education. So that also I have here the data. The game in education sector, it is reaching to 2.3 billion US dollars in 2017. So if you see this facts, these figures, it is a very big number.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what we are expecting, that these things can be the next big thing in the education. It won't provide only the students to grow, but also the whole community to grow. It will be a life-changing experience for them. Benefits of DSOH, it would be, of course, benefit for students to think innovative. It will be benefit for the local suppliers. Of course, it will be benefit for the manufacturers who are being part of this. And of course, the most important benefit will be for the community. The community will be getting something new and they will be producing something new. So this is the most important benefits which we are expecting from DSOH to prosper. Annual competition, as we talked about, we will be organizing the annual competitions to judge out which particular person created the best idea in the whole span of an year. And as you suggested, we'll be for sure trying to help that particular idea in best way we can do.
There must be an incubation cell for the particular.
Talking about the future, as you can see, currently we are working over the ideas. It's just a ground project. We are working on the project base. We didn't started implementing it. So talking about the future of DSOH, we are expecting that as we talk about the remote locations, for getting into the remote locations, what we are expecting is, we are expecting to transfer that virtual reality lab through movable platforms. Like we can use a truck or a car, caravan. We can use any particular medium of transportation so that we can take that lab to the remote areas. It would be providing an opportunity to help those remote areas also to participate in the program. So that is our aim. So, but this is temporary. Like in the starting phase, we can look for the movable platforms. But when we talk about the long side view, then it comes like we are expecting that we'll be able to build some brick houses. We'll be able to bring a permanent offices of for chapters for DSOH in the remote areas where they can practice and learn, and that is our aim in future finally. The more details about our activities, our blogs, any news, they can also visit the websites which we are having. Also we have Facebook page, Twitter page is there, and all, as I told you that tomorrow morning according to the UTC +2 time we have scheduled a lab interview there where all the celebrities and all the participants used to get together and discuss on the topics. So just as a part of this research for collecting the feedbacks from everyone, we have organized the lab show. So it would be great if you can join and you can invite your friends to join to the show.
It's a nice idea, and I wish you all the best. And I would say like a revolution of education is revolution of human race, and it's very important, and it's a great idea. So I'm sure it's gonna to work out.
Thanks a lot. This is our prototype which we developed just for promotional sake as a part of our research. I hope you will like it. You can see that we'll be working on the 6th Sense open source code. And what we are hoping is that it will be very beneficial for the students. Like they are suffering, they are getting that issues of not getting enough from the education. So that will be a good platform for them to come something new. This also we discussed that we are planning to put it on a mobile platform so that we can take it to the other communities also, so that we can make it a global round. This will be our annual competition, which is the best. Local business and industries will of course help the students, and as we discussed about the value, it will be a very good part. As you can see from the animations behind, these all animations are used in the 6th Sense. This is all being used with the 6th Sense technology. Like you can see the weather, everything is told. Just you are having the newspaper and everything is told you by the virtual. That is 6th Sense. As you can see, we are expecting to make the big and Motas schools in future, so that every particular DSS chapter can help in getting something new. So thank you so much for your time and your feedback.
Thanks so much.